This is a pulse oximeter, and it does one very simple thing, which is measure heart rate over time. The Oura Ring includes one, and so do most smartwatches. How they work is they shine a small infrared light through your fingertip. If you capture that light with a detector, you can plot it on a graph, which will have a very high signal-to-noise ratio because the sensor is so close to your finger, and from that easily extract the original heartbeat. Having heart rate data like this is really helpful in a variety of ways. You can use it to quantify fitness because resting heart rate has been associated with a higher all-cause mortality. So the specific data is that each 10 beat per minute increase carried roughly a 9% higher risk of death from any cause over the course of a lifetime. Another thing I could just come up with in my head was that heart rate data could be really helpful for monitoring babies or especially infants in the early stages of life when they are most vulnerable. So one thing that you may have observed from all these methods is that all of them require some sort of thing to be attached to you. And for a variety of reasons, this may not work for individuals who may be incapacitated or some way, who have missing appendages, or for very, very early stage newborns or children. And so my idea is that with very simple probability tools, you can basically create a program to extract someone's heart rate from just camera video. Completely contactless, you don't need any sensors, just a camera feed of the subject whose heart rate you want to record. And so fun fact, your face is actually always pulsating to the color of the heartbeat. Just that, like the same way that pulse oximeters worked on your little finger, natural light is coming in from everywhere in the world around us, hitting our faces, and getting subtly either when your face gets filled full of blood from a pulse, the red hemoglobin content makes your face absorb green light more because hemoglobin is red, it absorbs everything but red, so it absorbs green light more, which means with the camera we can detect that pulsing green light signal. Except if we actually do this, you'll find that the signal is incredibly noisy, and we can't actually read it and extract and just naively fit a heart rate signal to it. And so the key here is, instead of looking at any individual pixel, we can take the average over a region of pixels. But why is this the optimal choice? Well, if you consider the heartbeat signal, which you can see in the middle, right, that's the heartbeat signal is driving a bunch of random variables, which are these individual pixels, to have some base frequency, and then on top of that, all the individual random ones have this noise factor. And so if we add all of them up, it averages out to help us recover some of that original signal. And by averaging, it actually reduces the variance. If a single pixel has noise variance sigma squared, the average of n pixels is variance sigma squared over n, which means the random noise shrinks by a factor of root n, while the real pulse, which every pixel shares, comes through untouched. Okay, so now we kind of have this cleaner oscillation, but we still need the frequency of it. And so the same kind of thing is we can do this naive fit and check, where we pick a rate, and a heartbeat at that rate is just a cosine of sine. So we fit those two to your input signal by least squares, score how well they fit, and with Gaussian noise, that fit is the maximum likelihood. And now you do this for all from 41 to 100 something BPM, and the one that best fits is your MLE. Okay, up until now, we've all only used kind of the data that's come in, but we've also forgot that there's this physiological component of it. We know what heart rates are likely to fall between, which is this 80 to 180-ish BPM range. And so what we can do is we can bring back our good friend Bayes' theorem and encode some of that prior knowledge into our prediction. Now, I did one more thing in the app and in the written report, so if you're interested, you should go check it out. But basically, the last thing to do is basically use the null hypothesis to test if we actually have a heart rate in the video. Okay, on to applications. Awesome, so I guess this is just a quick demo of the app I built. Loads up your face, uses the iPhone API to get a crop of your forehead. The math that we all did 5 seconds ago is basically just transferred over here, and it detects the green signal out of your that region of your face, does the estimate, and then pulls out the probability that this is your heart rate. Yeah, it loses it at the end, I think, because I just shook the phone. Yeah, so earlier we mentioned that we could use this for baby tracking, and here's just like a crappy example of that. My friend is like pretending to sleep, and you can see, you can pretend he's a baby, and you can see it's tracking his heart rate, and he's gonna flip over, and it's gonna freak out that it can't see his heart rate anymore. Oh my goodness, the baby is dying. Like, you can go save the baby. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much for watching my video.